This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome. I am joined today by the brilliant Chrissy Church from Hypnotherapy Winchester. Chrissy, it's so lovely to have you here on the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast and in the book. Tell us about your business.
Hi, Trudy. My business is I'm a hypnotherapist and I'm here to help people achieve their freedom from anxieties, worries, stress and fears and phobias.
Amazing.
And that's what I do, and that's what I love to do.
What a mission in life. You have a massive sense of justice, which you talk about in the book, but where does that sense of justice come from?
I think it came from my father. He was always very active in the political scene in our town, which was quite a small town. And he was frequently found to be at council meetings and disrupting things. And yes, and I think I got my my sense of justice from him.
Amazing. I remember a story in the book about you were being bullied by some kids, and so your dad told you to go and sort it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just said, sort it out. So the only way I knew how to sort it out was to go out there and headbutt the biggest one there. And yeah, that was it for fine for the rest of the summer. They all left me alone.
I love the thought of it, because you were little, weren't you, when you were a kid?
Yeah, I wasn't a big child. I was very slight, quite boyish in stature. And yeah, so to take on the biggest one in the group, yeah, I had to stand on tiptoes to actually headbutt him.
I'm sure I'm supposed to say, Chrissy, that's awful, you shouldn't do that, but I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, what a wonderful story. You are married to a soldier and you went traveling around, but how was it traveling around, and what did you find you had to bring to that whole situation?
Traveling around wasn't so bad. You got to see so many different places. We were in Germany for most of our tours, and an army wife or a forces wife has to bring with her a sense of independence. Mm-hmm. You have to learn to depend on yourself, but you also have to learn to switch that dependency off when he comes back into the house. Otherwise he just feels like you're running roughshod over him. It's quite a bit of a juggling act, but you need to be strong. You need to be able to depend on yourself and rely on yourself and make friends wherever you can and keep them for as long as I've kept my friends.
That's brilliant. You talked in the chapter about having to ask for permission from people within the army barracks, and that didn't suit you too much.
No, wherever we went, all we had to say was our husband's last three numbers from his army number and his surname, which is my surname, and then you could access medical facilities. You could buy things that were non-food items in the NAFI. But the actual last thing, or the last straw for me, was when I had to ask my husband's permission to be sterilised after the birth of our second child. And yeah, that really did not sit well with me.
Wow, that's incredible. I had no idea of that. Wow.
Yeah, that's what it used to be like. It's changed an awful lot since then. Wives are not seen as excess baggage anymore. I think forces have realised that if you want a happy soldier, Air Force, Marine, whatever, keep the wife happy. Mm-hmm. Life at home is so much better if you keep the wife happy.
Because didn't you have to get something changed so that you were able to do something, or you got them to think differently in a way?
Yeah, it all came around the Federation of Army Wives, and I was fortunate to be asked to be the representative for our regiment. in the very first conference they did. And yeah, that was scary. I was in a room full of I don't know how many people. There were generals, colonels, and whatever up on the stage, saying how they thought things should be run for the wives and families. And there was I going, shut up, so I can put my hand up, shut up, sit down, let me get on with it. And as soon as they said any questions, I was straight up there with my hand up. And I asked so many questions and pointed out so much to them that I actually dominated that first conference.
Amazing.
And we did get things changed. The way we were treated, our access to certain things, the realization that, you know, we were human beings as well and needed to be treated that way. And I think the forces, they still need to come up in, you know, to modern day thinking, but they're a lot better than they were.
But it comes back to your sense of justice as well, in the way that you could see there was something that needed to be done or said, and you're never worried about being that person.
Yeah, yes. I think I've sort of, I always push myself out of my comfort zone if I feel that I need to, where justice is concerned. I will do my best. Yeah. A friend's son was born with his organs outside of his body, and there was just one particular medication that you could buy over the counter that would help him so he wouldn't become constipated, which was excruciatingly painful. And the company that were making it had decided they weren't going to make it anymore. And I spoke to them, spoke to the general manager, and he said, well, it's just not financially viable to keep it going. So because I'm army wife, you get contacts all over the country, contacted everyone and said, please go into your chemist and buy as much of this stuff as you can, and then arrange for stuff to be delivered to my friends in Scarborough. And then got a call about a month later from the same general manager saying that they decided to reverse their decision. They were carrying on with it, and that they couldn't understand why their sales had gone through the roof in the past 28 days.
Chrissy, you are a one-woman show. I absolutely love it. That's such an incredible story. How do you go from that sense of justice with all that you've done in the army to hypnotherapy, and how has that helped you?
It came out almost like another sense of justice. My friend's daughter suffered with her mental health, and when she reached the age of 18, she was too old for CAMS, or the children's mental health, but not really old enough to be covered by the community teams. And she was suffering dreadfully. And I thought, there's a gap, there's a hole here, it needs to be plugged. So I decided that I would be my one-woman band counsellor. Signed up for a counsellor's course. And in the first year we did hypnotherapy, and I was absolutely just blown away. I couldn't believe how wonderful it was, how quick, how easy, how much results came, and unexpected results for me as I was learning. And I decided at the end of the first year not to carry on with the further 2 years. And my tutor for hypnotherapy said that, yeah, totally agree. She said, you're born to do this.
Wow.
Amazing. So CC therapy came from there, and it's helped me understand more about who I am as a person, what I am capable of, what I can achieve, and yeah, that's it.
I think that's what people sometimes don't get in having your own business, is the amount that you learn of what you are capable of and what you want to get done and what you need to go through to get to those positions. It's hard at the time, but then you come out the other side and go, that was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. When I've seen people, clients, when they wake up as such, when you bring them back from hypnosis, it's like watching a baby being reborn, because they're stretching and they're yawning and there's a big smile on their face, and you think, I did that. I let that happen, and it was just amazing feeling.
That's incredible. What's one lesson that you've learned that you would want every entrepreneur to know?
I suppose trust your instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely and utterly trust your instincts.
Yeah.
And be true to yourself. If it doesn't feel right for you, then it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And never be afraid to go after that dream.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
That's brilliant.
Just believe it and go for it.
There are so many people that will hear that and they're thinking in their gut, oh, I really want to do this thing. Go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah. I always say to myself, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you think, well, I'll just start again then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that can happen.
I love that. It's just so straightforward. What's your favourite business book?
My favourite business book is Hypnosis for Change. And it's the book that I think most hypnotherapists will have learnt with. It's amazing. It's well thumbed in most hypnotherapists' office because there's so many things to read and understand about it, so many different approaches to come from. I absolutely love it. It's my best book ever. Brilliant.
Chrissy, it's an absolute pleasure to have this chat with you and to have your chapter in the book. Thank you so much for doing it. And yeah, we'll get this out on the 1st of October.
Hey, brilliant.
Thanks, Chrissy. Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books Shine On You Crazy Daisy and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.